Hello there, it's Tanya here again from Eden Photography, and I'm continuing on with my series of how I got started as a wedding photographer. So last time we spoke about second shooting, so I hope you've had the chance to go online, chat to some photographers and get your first start as a second shooter. And I just wanted to address today what I did next, I suppose. So after I was second shooter at my first wedding and even my second and third, what were the next steps that I took in order to secure my own bookings for my own weddings as a photographer? Well, straight after the wedding, I came home and downloaded the photographs from my camera to see what I had captured, and I made a start on editing them. So at this stage, I didn't have a lot of editing experience, especially in editing weddings. I hadn't quite perfected my own style of editing, but I was good at, compensating for exposure and temperature, and I knew the look that I wanted to achieve, even though in the early stages it wasn't a very consistent look. But I edited using Lightroom. I very rarely back then, and I guess I still don't really use Photoshop all that much. I tend to edit almost exclusively in Lightroom. I find it really easy to navigate. All the editing styles that I like, or the basics, are there in terms of temperature and exposure, highlights, shadows. To be honest, I don't tend to mess around with a photo that much. I like a very natural, clean look. So for me, Photoshop more than suffices for that. So after I had edited my images, the next big thing that I felt gave me a really good start in my wedding photography career was to produce a sample album for potential couples. So when you're starting out and you start to get inquiries by email or brides phoning you, the next logical step is that they often want to meet you. They want to speak to you face to face, to have a chat about the day, their wedding day, to get a feel for you as a person and also as a photographer. And of course you want to meet them as well and get a feel for them and their day and see what it's all about, really. But if you don't have an album or anything like prints to bring with you to show them, for me that felt like the meeting was going to be a bit pointless. I felt like I needed to have something physical to show them. Most couples, not only will they go for a USB option, but they like to have a wedding album. And you're not really only in the business of taking photographs, you also are in the business of providing a wedding album for them at the end of their wedding. So you really do need something to show them. So I had sourced my wedding albums here in Ireland, and the first two weddings that I was second shooter at, I produced two wedding albums from them. Obviously I didn't have things like group photographs or family photographs, but I was able to explain that to my couples, and really I wanted more to highlight my my natural, candid photography skills. That's what couples really are looking for. So they were still able to see my approach to a wedding, how I like to take detail shots in the morning, candids in the church and candids during the drinks reception, all of which I had done as a second shooter over my time second shooting with other photographers. And really I cannot say it more strongly than do get a wedding album as soon as you can. It really is so important, and it really is something that I felt gave me a really good start in having that physical product to show the quality not only of the work that I was producing, but also the quality of the finished product that the couples would receive. Another thing to think of when you are second shooting and building your portfolio is you probably want to show your work elsewhere, not just in meetings with couples, but potentially at wedding fairs or to venues if you're trying to build relationships with them. So I had 2 or 3 wedding albums at my first wedding fair, and really it was so priceless in having that to show people, some framed prints, anything that you want to decorate your table, but you really do need wedding album. And just being there at the wedding fair, being able to talk to couples, being able to show them your work, it's almost like a free marketing class in how to sell yourself. You can sit at home on your computer editing your images and perfecting the look, but unless you're able to get out there and meet people and actually talk about your work and talk about your excitement for what you do and the excitement that you would have for their wedding and being able to be there on the day and work with them, wedding fairs are so priceless for this. You get to speak with real couples planning their wedding. You mightn't necessarily book their wedding, you might not be right for them, but you've had the chance to talk to them. You know what kind of questions couples are asking, you know what they're looking for when they engage with you at a wedding fair, so that when couples do inquire through your website or when they phone you, you've good experience of answering their questions. You know what to expect. You're not nervous ahead of meeting them, and you've had plenty of practice of chatting to couples, hearing about their day and answering their questions. So I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover today. I really wanted to stress the importance of, when you second shoot, produce an album, produce a photo book, have something to show couples, and it really will give you great confidence when you meet with a bride and a groom and you have something to show them and something meaningful to talk about and something focused to talk about when you meet them. So I look forward to chatting with you again. Enjoy the rest of your day and we'll speak soon. Bye. Bye-bye.